This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. As most of you probably know, President Trump in the last couple of weeks has seen a significant drop in his approval ratings across the board. Now, to be fair to President Trump and his administration, some of these polls coming out, let's be honest here, they're complete nonsense. Like, look at the RCP average right now, and the top line number looks pretty bad, -12. According to RCP, he's at only 42% approve, 55% disapprove, which, funny enough, compared to 2017, it's actually an improvement. Back in 2017, President Trump in December was roughly at -17, -19, -20. So, yeah, even with a top line number, it's not good, but it's still an improvement compared to 2017 by roughly 7 points. And on top of that, look at some of these polls. Look at Gallup. According to them, President Trump's at -24, Reuters -22, Marist -17, Fox News -17. All these polls have these, or a chunk of them have these ridiculous margins that are unrealistic and they're out of date. But right now they're still in the RCP average. So you look at the numbers and yeah, compared to a month ago, Trump's numbers have technically gone up in some areas because some of these polls are so out of date or they're just so ridiculous that they're not realistic. But still, President Trump right now, he's underwater, but not by 25, not even by 12. I would argue right now it's roughly -5, -6. Worst case scenario, maybe like -8. So yeah, it's not good. And a big reason why his approval is so bad is, of course, the economy. Right now, it is -18. And yes, again, you had some ridiculous polls, but of course, he's not doing too good on the economy whatsoever. Same thing with inflation, but you can kind of interchange the two. And that's the real reason President Trump is below water so much. The economy is killing Trump's admin. For a multitude of reasons. It's just not good right now. The messaging's been all over the place. It seems like Trump doesn't really care about the issue at times. So you add it all up, and that's why President Trump is really below water. There's other issues like immigration and foreign policy. Those are other things as well, but really, it's the economy. If the economy was doing good and people thought it was going good, most people would still back Trump to this day. Even if they think he's disappointed on immigration, if the economy is still going up and it's improving, people could look past that. But they're not, because the economy right now, they just think it sucks. And the Trump admin, they're finally realizing this, that you cannot just say everything's perfect and you can't just ignore the issue forever. No, you can't do that. And now, according to Axios, it sounds like President Trump is gonna finally get out of the White House and start doing events and rallies to tout his economic agenda. President Trump staring down criticism that he's prioritized global issues over pocketbook worries. Next week will kick off a year of heavy stateside travel that's focused on selling his economic agenda ahead of the midterms. Good. This should have been day one you do this type of stuff. Now, to be fair to President Trump, as the president, you have to be worried about foreign policy. That's not the issue here. Like, of course, you got to worry about getting trade deals done, making agreements with China, India, ending the nonsensical war in Ukraine and Gaza or whatever. That's not really the issue. The problem is, it seems like at times, the administration doesn't really care about domestic issues. And now, again, I'm not saying that's exactly true, because they did do a lot of good stuff for domestic stuff. It just, the perception a lot of people have is, well, Trump is talking about God knows what foreign policy issue, but he doesn't talk about inflation. And when he does, he kind of shoots himself in the foot. And I'm glad the administration is starting to realize, oh, even when we do a lot of good foreign policy stuff, you can't just bank on that. Because if the economy sucks and people have a bad perception of it, and they think Trump is out of touch and not talking about it, what do you think's going to happen? Actually, We know what happens. Look at Trump's job approval, -12. Look at his approval on the economy, -18. Of course, some of these polls are bullshit, but it's not good. It's not good to be in this state at all. We're at -20 for the economy. That's awful. That is not good. And people say the economy sucks. So you can't just ignore the issue. It's one thing if the economy was booming, but it's not. So you add all of this up, and that's the reason Trump's going down. And they're realizing they got to be more focused on the economy. They have to talk about it more. And that's why in the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing the administration, they've slowly moved away from foreign policy stuff. They still talk about it a lot, but they've been more focused on affordability, cost of living, all that good stuff. Stuff that people actually care about, not some nonsensical war in God knows where. With Republicans in danger of losing control of the House next November, Trump needs to be a lift, not a drag, in tough districts if the GOP is to defy powerful historical trends and keep its majority. Trump's new push begins Tuesday in the vital battleground of northeastern Pennsylvania. I think this is a perfect place to do a rally or an event or whatever he's doing. We don't know for sure if these are just small events or actual rallies, but the fact that he's doing them at all is a good sign. And especially in places like northeastern Pennsylvania, I'm hoping it's Scranton. That would be a perfect place to do a rally because guess what? Trump's coalition are voters from Scranton, Pennsylvania. These are lifelong Democrats, and they're the type of voter to tell you, screw you, we're not going to vote for you. If you screw us over, bye, we're not going to vote for you, never going to support you again. And Trump was able to win them over because guess what? He ran on issues people gave a shit about. He was saying the right stuff, and that's why he did good in places like northeastern Pennsylvania, as an example. And I think it's a good region to start with because these voters, they're not happy right now. So just to show up, that alone, I do think would do wonders for his approval. Because most of the issues is from the fact that people don't think Trump actually cares about these issues. Like he's kind of ignoring the economy and trying to focus everything on foreign policy. And people don't really like that. Especially if President Trump is supposed to be the America First president. We're told the president will aggressively push back against criticism over the cost of everyday essentials, an issue that helped propel him to victory over Kamala Harris last year. The president's growing irritation over how voters view the economic agenda has been bubbling over in his public remarks. He has repeatedly insisted prices are coming down and has called Democrats' focus on affordability a hoax and a con job. And this right here, this is what's pissing a lot of people off. Really, this is what I'm talking about. It just seems like Trump is like out of touch on the issue, even though he's done a lot of good stuff. It's not been enough, but either way, he's done a lot of good stuff for the economy, cost of living. But when you say, well, it's a hoax and a con job, what do you think people are going to say? It's the same thing the Biden admin were trying to push back in 2022. Remember that? The economy is booming with Bidenomics. Everything's perfect. Now, I understand what Trump was trying to say here. He tried to frame this as, well, Democrats, they caused this mess. They're the ones that caused this disaster with cost of living being so bad, and I'm trying to fix it. I understand that's what he's trying to say, but don't just say it's all a hoax because they bring it up. That's stupid. Say they're hypocrites. Say they did nothing for 4 years on inflation. They let it get worse and worse and worse. And then say, oh, it's all perfectly normal. He has floated several proposals to try to address cost of living concerns, including a $2,000 rebate check from tariffs and 50-year mortgages. Again, these are ideas you can look at maybe, but it's not enough. And that's the problem. It just seems like they're trying half-assed solutions. Well, people are worried about cost of living. Give everybody $2,000. Okay, that might help in the short term, but people want to see actual progress. They don't want to just see yet another temporary solution to a long-term problem. White House aides see Trump as the Republican Party's best salesman and its best chance to reverse falling poll numbers for both the president and his party. I agree with this 100%. You can't trust any of these dumbasses of the GOP to sell anything. You can't trust them with a damn thing. They're going to screw it up. They're going to talk about God knows what. at least with President Trump, he's the type of person to quickly realize what people give a shit about. And that's another reason I think these rallies, events, whatever you want to call them, will be a good thing in the long run. Because whenever Trump does something stupid and his base doesn't like it, they will let him know. This happened back in 21, 22 with the COVID stuff. They weren't happy with some of the stuff he was saying, and they booed him at times. Not for everything, but they were not happy about it. And Trump began to realize, oh, the base doesn't like this. That is gonna be it's gonna be a big wake-up call, I think, for Trump when he goes to northeastern Pennsylvania and voters say, we voted for you, but we're disappointed. You're not doing a good job on this issue. Trump is expected to use Tuesday's event to highlight what he's done to help the economy during his second term. Okay, that's just what that's what this article's saying. They're gonna make a big push on the economy, focus on what he's doing, focus on the good stuff, and I like that. And it sounds like President Trump will hold another event this month, and it sounds like they're gonna keep upping up the amount of events throughout the year. This is a good starting point. They're gonna focus more on the economy, focus on domestic issues, and get Trump out of this damn bubble. That's going to be the biggest win of this. Even if it doesn't reverse everything overnight, just getting Trump out of the bubble known as DC, it's going to help him so much. It's going to make him quickly realize the base is not happy about some of the stuff. Not everybody. There's a lot of people that still support Trump, but they still like him. Even people that disapprove of him, a lot of them would still vote for him. Again, especially over Harris. They're just not really that happy about how some issues have been handled, like the economy. It's one of those things where we got to see how this goes because, again, they've been kind of getting better on this issue, trying to focus more on the economy and other domestic issues. But at the same time, it's been inconsistent. Every time they start to trend the right direction, they make a baffling move and they say something stupid and just pisses people off even more. Like with the H-1B visa stuff, a massive F up by Trump that he kind of recovered from a little bit after he changed his tune a little bit, but still, it's mistakes like that piss people off even more. So I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call for Trump when he goes to Pennsylvania and see a bunch of people upset with him. Hopefully that's a wake-up call he needs because Trump understands what his base wants when he does these rallies and events. And he'll quickly realize, oh crap, we're in a lot of trouble. Not just, you know, for 2026, but maybe his legacy. And Trump, of course, he wants to cement his legacy as, you know, a great president. And if he doesn't reverse course now, some people are gonna be mad, like upset with him forever. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.